Welcome to rSlash. Today I effed up, where a guy accidentally dips his balls in chili sauce. Today I effed up by waking up my sleeping family screaming, "There's something in my pants," until my sister found the something. And for context in this story, OP is a woman. Tonight I effed up. I was outside smoking a cigarette in my pajamas. Everyone else was asleep. It's a bit rainy and chilly, if that matters. Anyway, I felt something like a lump in my slipper. I took it off, shook it. Nothing came out. Then I felt something very subtle near my ankle. I reached down but couldn't locate it. I tried to ignore it but kept feeling these tiny wiggles. I started panicking, thinking it was a spider. I began slapping my leg. At one point by my knee, I felt a little lump, and that sent me running into the house screaming. I'm very afraid of spiders. I burst into my sister's room, turned her light on, and removed my pants, all while shouting that something's in my pants. She woke up screaming, scared at my sudden intrusion. The dogs promptly ran into her room as well, confused. I tossed my pants at her and just kept shouting, "Something in my pants!" She first said it was nothing, then at my prompting, she shook my pants, my sweatpants. Nothing happened. She told me, "It's nothing, see? Good night." I was relieved. I went to grab my pants again to put them on. I'd been wearing no underwear under my pants, not my best decision. And my sister started screaming. I look, and clinging onto the crotch of my sweatpants was a freaking mouse. I tossed the pants at her because, well, I panicked. We were shouting at each other, both saying, "Do something!" The dogs were barking at the confusion. Finally, our parents entered the room. We just shouted at them that there was a mouse. My father was like, "Okay." And my mom asked why I wasn't wearing any pants, and then I started shouting, "It's in my pants!" all over again. We put the mouse outside. It was very much alive. This kind of reminds me of something that happened to me, and I don't think I've told this story on my channel. If I have and you've heard it before, I'm sorry. But I was sleeping and I had a dream, a dream that I was in my bedroom and a giant, like plate-sized spider was descending from the ceiling from a strand of silken web, and it landed on my chest while I was laying in the bed. Now, keep in mind at this point, I'm still asleep, I'm still dreaming, but the unconscious me reached my right hand to my chest to grab the spider. But the thing is, I had been sleeping on my right hand, so it was completely numb. So when my right hand reaches my chest, my right hand can't feel anything because it's numb. So my right hand is grabbing at my chest, but my right hand can't feel what it is doing. But my chest, my chest can feel what's happening, and my fingers feel like this giant plate-sized spider is scrabbling all over my chest. And suddenly, the added physical sensation makes it so much scarier. So in my panic, I try and grab the spider even harder. So I go from grabbing to clawing, and suddenly I feel my fingernails digging into my chest, and in my still dream brain, I'm thinking that the spider is stabbing into my chest with its pointy dagger-like legs, and it is the single most horrifying nightmare I've ever had in my life, because I genuinely thought that this massive spider was burrowing a hole into my stomach. 0 out of 10 would not dream again. Today I effed up by leaving my vibrator out at the Firehouse. So I, a 23-year-old woman, am a live-in firefighter at a volunteer firehouse. This means that in exchange for chores, being available for calls, and doing events and tours, I live at the firehouse for free. I have my own room, but since this is technically a place of employment, they put in the contract that they can do room inspections whenever they'd like. Seems fair enough to me if I'm living here for free. What sucks about my room is that they don't have a lot of storage for us. To help, they bought us these under-the-bed drawer system things. I can't have my nightstand right next to my bed because it's against the wall, and if I need something under there, it's in the way when I pull the drawer out. To fix this, I got a bed caddy. One of those things you slip under your mattress and it hangs in easy reach. I put my water bottle, glasses, meds, etc. in it. And today, I forgot my vibrator in it. I can't have a guy over because it's against the rules to have anyone in your room here. Therefore, vibrator. I was doing chores around the firehouse when one of the higher-ups stopped by and asked if he could look around. I showed him to my room later, as I had recently moved in and he liked what I'd done. Since my caddy was partially hidden by my covers, he asked what that lump was. I enthusiastically said it was my bed caddy, and it's it's ingenious. As I lifted the effing covers, I died inside as we both stared at my vibrator. He just laughed and left. Please kill me. The thing I love about this story is that I didn't know what a bed caddy was until this person explained it. So there's also a decent chance that her boss didn't know what a bed caddy was either. Meaning that when she pulled back the covers to reveal her vibrator, there's a decent chance that the guy thought that she was referring to the vibrator as the bed caddy. So as far as he knows, OP just went, "This is my bed caddy, it's ingenious, behold," and then shows him a vibrator. Lady, do you mean to say bed caddy or bed daddy? Today I effed up by returning a pizza cutter to my new neighbor. We just moved into a new house. We had a bunch of friends help us move, and we naturally got some take and bake pizza because people who help you move deserve pizza. It's the least we could do. Cue pizza time, and we realized we have no pizza cutter. This could have been foreseen since all our stuff was in boxes, but things like that fall through the cracks because moving is stressful. No big deal. One of our friends goes over to a neighbor's house, and the guy generously lends him his pizza cutter. A couple of days later, I head over to the neighbor's house to return the pizza cutter. I'm feeling pretty peppy since I have a good reason to meet a neighbor. There's definitely a little bounce in my step. I ring the doorbell and a woman opens the door a quarter of the way. I'm only 95% sure I'm at the right house, so I lead with, "I think I have your pizza cutter." And I quickly whip it up in front of me. Remember, I'm feeling a little peppy, so my movement was a bit quick. Also, the pizza cutter was borrowed from a guy. This lady, presumably, has no idea that her husband lent out their pizza cutter. So, naturally, when the strange man at the door flips up a knife-like object in front of him, she shrieked and slammed the door shut. The next 3 seconds felt like 3 minutes as I put all the pieces together. She was putting some pieces together too, and reopens the door like 1/16 of the way. I sheepishly say, "I believe this is your pizza cutter. We're your new neighbors, and maybe we borrowed it from your husband the other day?" The next minute was filled with profuse apologies on both sides. I gave her the pizza cutter and then went home. A few weeks later, my wife saw her, and they chatted and laughed about the pizza cutter incident, so all is well. Today I effed up by watching an adult video that almost gave me a heart attack. About 2 months ago, I was watching adult videos and found a girl who looked like my wife, which I'm into, so I clicked on it. As I watched it, I started to think it might actually be my wife. Then I turned up the volume and listened close, and I start to panic. It sounds and looks just like my wife. My heart starts pounding. My stomach dropped to the floor when she looked at the camera, and in this moment, I'm convinced. Luckily, at the very end of a short clip, there was like a 3-frame shot at the end that obviously wasn't her, but I couldn't get it out of my head. I kept watching and listening and slowed it down, and with the exception of those last frames, it really seemed to be her. Anyways, after I finished my business, I just sat and waited for my wife to come home, all the while telling myself things like, "It's not her, you're being stupid." I couldn't leave it alone, so I tried looking up the actress but couldn't find the info. Finally, my wife came home and I had to show her the clip. First she laughed, then she gasped when the girl looks up. She started to tear up and asked if perhaps she'd been drugged or something. After further inspection and some comparison of identifying markers like birthmarks and the like, we concluded that it's not her, but someone who looks and sounds extremely similar. I'm still trying to find out who the girl is because I'm hoping there may be some fun things to watch, like a good lesbian scene. For a good hour there, I thought that my marriage of 10 years might have been a sham. The good thing is, it made me realize how much I love my wife and how important she is to me in my life. I like how this guy comes across evidence that makes him honestly believe that his wife is moonlighting as a porn star, and his first reaction is to, finish his business. Today I effed up by trying to be funny and embarrassing myself for every Thanksgiving for the rest of my life. Obligatory, this didn't happen today. This happened on Thanksgiving about 15 years ago when I was a young lad. My family always goes to my one uncle's house, and they have a big basement with a light switch at the top of the stairs. Me, a 22-year-old male, my brother, my sister, and my 8 cousins always played a game that we called Monster in the Bathroom. The game is just hide and seek, but all the lights are out and the people have to make a noise when the seeker asks them to. Also, we never play it in an actual bathroom, no idea why we call it that. So we play a few games. The lights start on so people can find a good place to hide while the seeker stands at the top of the stairs and counts down. When they're finished counting, they turn out the light and make their way down the stairs to find people. My oldest cousin was a seeker at this game, and he's kinda known as the funny one of the bunch, so I was presented an opportunity to out-humor him. As he was walking down the stairs, I suddenly got the urge to fart. I could tell this was a mammoth of a fart just by feel, so I was dying for him to ask for us to make a noise. Finally, he got to the bottom of the stairs and screams loudly, "Make a noise!" trying to get a laugh out of everyone. Not to be outdone, I released the loudest and wettest fart I had ever released in my young life. Every single person hiding burst into hysterical laughter, including myself and the seeker. After the laughing died down, I realized my F-up. My legendary fart was actually a shart, and I had wet poo dripping down my leg. The other F-up was that even though everyone else stopped laughing after 30 seconds, I couldn't stop. I laughed so hard that I also pissed my pants. My cousin immediately caught me, and it was revealed that I had simultaneously pooed my pants and pissed my pants. The game ended right there because I had to go upstairs and borrow pants and underwear from my cousin. Now, every single year when my family arrives at Thanksgiving, every cousin comes up to me and yells, "Hey, OP, make a noise." This has not gotten old to them, and I'll be arriving at my uncle's house in about 2 hours. I will undoubtedly be asked to make a noise, as it is a Thanksgiving tradition from here till the day I die. Well, look on the bright side, OP. At least you were funnier than your cousin. Today I effed up by not looking closely at a meeting invite. My F-up is currently in progress. My company's VP of sales sent me a meeting invite last Friday towards the end of the day. I live in Seattle, and the meeting is in Portland with a potential customer. The VP gives me a call right after sending the invite and says that it's cheaper to fly than drive and to book a flight using a saver fare. I needed to get into Portland for the meeting at 9 a.m. on Monday and fly back that night, no earlier than 6 p.m. I booked my ticket, get on the plane this morning, and text another coworker who lives in the area and also planned on attending the meeting to see if he can come pick me up. He calls back, frantic. He says, "Is the meeting today? I'm an hour away. I thought it was on the 9th. I check my email. He's right. And because I booked with a saver fare, I can't change to an earlier flight without buying a whole new ticket. So now, I'm stuck in Portland Airport for the next 8 hours. Today I effed up by burning my balls. 7 stages of grief. Every Sunday, I prep our meals for the week. On the menu this time was slow-cooked aromatic lamb navarin, mixed bean chili, and ratatouille. Carbs are cooked during the week. While prepping the chili, I realized I had some leftover fresh chilies from last Sunday. They still looked good, so I chopped them up and chucked those in rather than 1 teaspoon of chili powder. Jump to 5 minutes ahead. I've got my marinara sauce simmering, and I've chopped all the veggies for the chili and ratatouille when I get the uncontrollable urge to pee. No biggie. A quick dash to the loo, and I'm back to my dutiful place in the kitchen. And yes, I did wash my hands. I even used soap. I'm blending the marinara sauce when the slightest hint of a burn kicks in. I assume, wrongly, that my ballsack just got pinched by my boxers and/or trousers and do the old side-to-side swing. The subsequent waft of air causes a new, more intense sensation of heat to bloom out from the midst of my sorry sack. Stage 1. Shock and denial. I take a man-up pill and decide to just wait it out. I can't believe that I might have been stupid enough to get fresh chili oil on my man sack. I made it as far as putting the ratatouille into the oven, grazing my manhood against my boxers in the process and triggering the next stage. Stage 2. Pain. A truly excruciating burning sensation. I noped the F out, nearly tripped over Diego, our black cat, and squealed as I crab ran past my partner in the living room, waking her up from her nap in the process. I strip down faster than Magic Mike and slam our low-budget electric shower stream on full. The water is lukewarm, but feels like actual lava when it touches my junk. Turn it down. Okay, that's better. I grab my girlfriend's coconut and lychee shampoo thinking that'll chill my bits. Oh god, I was wrong. Whatever demonic chemicals lay in the shampoo reignited my metaphorical balls of fire. It was about then that my girlfriend came up to investigate the commotion. Stage 3. Anger and bargaining. I stood under the shower, legs agape. How long would this pain last? When would it stop? Surely there must be something that can ease the pain. Stage 4. Depression, reflection, loneliness. This is my life now. Forever burning balls. This is the price I pay for being an idiot. Stage 5. Upward turn. My partner has Googled a possible salvation. Milk. We have some full-fat milk in the fridge for baking. She offers me a mug full through the shower curtain. I ask her to turn around to preserve what little dignity I had left. I dunk my burning balls in the sweet white nectar, and the relief is immediate and godly. My eyes shut, and I'm quiet. My own milk-quilted nirvana. My partner must have been worried. She asked if I'm okay. I'm okay. Stages 6 and 7. Reconstruction, hope, acceptance. I'm still going through my head exactly how I burned my balls, and why it was only the sack and not the other part. Nevertheless, I survived the encounter and am all the wiser for it. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. That was rSlash Today I F'd Up, and unless you want to F up, you had better hit that like button.